Washington. The starting lineups, first for the visitors from GW. In the backcourt, wearing number 11, a sophomore at 6'2", from Indianapolis, Indiana, Ron White. And number 14, a freshman at 5'11", from Brooklyn, New York, Mike O'Reilly. The center, wearing number 40, a sophomore, 6'9", from East Orange, New Jersey, Mike Brown. And the forwards, wearing number 22, a freshman, 6'5", from Washington, D.C., Chester Wood. And wearing number 23, a freshman, 6'6", from Washington, D.C., Darrell Webster. The Colonials are coached by Jerry Gimelstob in his second season. And now for the Scarlet Knights from Rutgers. In the backcourt, wearing number 24, a sophomore, 6'1", from West Seat Pleasant, Maryland, Brian Ellerby. And number 30, a senior, 6'2", from Queens, New York, Rich Brunson. The center, the captain, a senior, wearing number 32 at 6'9", from Somerset, New Jersey, Roy Hinson. Wearing number 20, a senior at 6'6", from Washington, D.C., Kevin Black. And number 35, a senior at 6'7", from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Clarence Tillman. The Scarlet Knights are coached by Tom Young in his 10th season. And I talked with both coaches before the start of this ball game. First, Jerry Gimelstob, the GW coach. I talked to Jerry about Troy Webster, what he's meant to the club, and the fact that GW will be without the 6'4" freshman today.
Well, it's really tough to replace a kid like Troy Webster. Troy has come in as a freshman. He's been the freshman of the year in the conference 5 times this year already. He'll probably be the rookie of the year in the conference. He's the leading scorer on our team. He's played the most minutes of anybody on our team. He's the leader on the team in assists, and he also guards the best player on the other team every game. So missing him is sort of tough. How do you think the New Jersey Generals would be without Herschel Walker?
The officials for tonight's ball game, the referee we're looking at now, Mike Cierco, and the other 2 officials, Jack Prettyman and Art McDonald.
All right, Dick, just to clear that up, our videograph information incorrect. It is Mike Cierco, Jack Prettyman, and Art McDonald, the 3 officials.
So
Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker.
I believe,
name rings a bell.
I believe there was a change in the officials, and that's where the confusion existed.
So Rutgers in the home white. GW. Darker jerseys, all blue. We'll hear from Rutgers coach Tom Young at our first opportunity. Hinson will jump with Mike Brown. Rutgers controls Rich Brunson with the basketball. Mike O'Reilly plays Brunson. We'll give you the matchups. GW playing man. Ron White's on Brian Ellerby. Play it the same way. Inside, Mike Brown will play Roy Hinson. Number 22, Chester Wood, matched up against Clarence Tillman. And Darrell Webster, number 23, plays Kevin Black. Jerry Gimelstob, an assistant coach at Indiana under Bobby Knight before coming to GW, as Rich Brunson nails the jumper, and he's from that man-to-man school.
That was a great shot, too, Bill. He took that one dribble, pulled up really strong, and got that shot off against tough man-to-man defense.
And Brunson goes into the first row, makes a sensational steal. We got Kevin Black going to the hoop, and he draws the foul. Mike O'Reilly with the foul. Brunson, who does not shoot all that often, very confidently made the jump. And then Rutgers with the pressure D, and look for Brunson to make the sensational catch here, the save, and then he's got to pay for that seat as he's first row. Look at this.
Tremendous effort by Rich Brunson on that save.
And then Kevin Black took it to the hoop and drew the foul from O'Reilly, non-shooting foul. Here's Clarence Tillman. Chester Wood plays him. Clarence coming off the career-high 28 against Duquesne. So Rutgers 2 of 2 from the floor, and they lead 4-0, 105 in. And against the pressure, Mike O'Reilly. To Darrell Webster, back to O'Reilly. O'Reilly, pure point guard from Brooklyn, New York. Very young George Washington Ball Club. Got 2 sophomores. Here's one of them, Mike Brown, rejection number 104 by Roy Hinson. 2 sophomores, 3 freshmen starting for the Colonials. The youngest plus 500 club in the country. George Washington 12 and 11 overall. Sometimes they start 4 freshmen. Remember, Troy Webster is out. Hinson over Brown. Rutgers comes out smoking.
And I would not say they're intimidated by the GW man-to-man defense at all.
Another steal. Hinson created it. Ellerby looking for Black. A lot of contact underneath. The foul call is going to go against Chester Wood. Chester Wood, right there, the freshman at 6'5" from Washington, D.C. Now, wait a minute. As you look again, give the foul to Brian Ellerby. It's an offensive foul against Ellerby, the man who has the basketball right here. Well, good call.
Very good call.
As we come back live, it's GW with the ball. O'Reilly out to Ron White. O'Reilly top of the circle.
Good shot, not quite the three-point play. O'Reilly is hitting at 50% this year, so he's a good shooter.
Got a streamer thrown out onto the floor, so the stoppage of play, Dick.
I was going to say, Bill, that as I mentioned before, Rutgers is really not intimidated at all by that man-to-man defense.
Well, I called it a streamer. It is 6-2 Rutgers, 17:44 left first half. Yes, they have attacked the man-to-man, the exception of the offensive foul call on Ellerby. Rutgers looks super on offense, and they've come up with a couple of steals. Here's Kevin Black, little long, and on the boards, Darrell Webster to O'Reilly. Wood, O'Reilly. Darrell Webster, here's Mike Brown. Little indecision inside Mike Brown, he loses out of bounds. Dick, this is how he looked a year ago in this building.
Well, it's a little tough, too, against that Rutgers zone. It is a 3-2 zone. When that ball goes inside, everybody collapses in there. It's not just getting around your man. There's a lot of traffic in there.
He played tight a year ago in that ball game against the Scarlet Knights here. Rich Brunson may have gotten away with a palm out to Tillman. He's open, gets a little closer, rolls out. Hinson on the offensive boards. Missed. Darrell Webster out for Ron White. Ron White came off the bench when Troy Webster got hurt against West Virginia Wednesday night, had a career-high 18 points, and again, the Colonials turn it over. Mike Brown did not like the call, but the ball went out of bounds off his foot inside. And that time we had Kevin Black coming all the way over from the other side to help out on Mike Brown inside. Clarence taking it to the hoop, and he traveled. Clarence trying to do the stop jump in the lane, and he traveled. John Battle will replace Rich Brunson for Rutgers.
But they were 2 good moves by Tillman both times he had the ball against man-to-man, taking it to the hoop. He's not being intimidated. He has a tendency to play better against his own, but he's doing well against this man so far.
GW handling the pressure a little bit better this time. Chester Wood, he traveled.
Gives that little pump fake, and you have a tendency when you give that little pump fake to take a little extra step.
Fifth turnover against George Washington, and we're only 3.5 minutes in. Battle, who came off the bench in a hurry from Brunson. Ellerby forced from deep, and GW's basketball. Rutgers got off with 3 quick field goals. Scarlet Knights scoreless over the last 2 minutes. And Scarlet Knights continue to hustle on D with the pressure. Roy Hinson going for the steal, but it is Rutgers ball.
And the press has been very effective for Rutgers so far.
Incredible, Dick. 6 turnovers against the Colonials in less than 4 minutes. Hinson with position against Mike Brown. And we may have Brown over the back. Let's see about this call. I'm still waiting.
Nice pump fake inside by Roy Hinson, but he just put it off the glass a little too hard. It looks like it's on Clarence Tillman, I think, using that left arm over the back.
Brown was over Roy Hinson's back as well, but the foul call went against Clarence Tillman. Meanwhile, still another turnover against George Washington.
And GW has been trying to dribble out of that press, out of the trap. They've been trying to take it right between the two players. It's getting him in trouble.
We have the delay here because, again, we have a problem with the clock. Similar to last week, the numbers on the clock overhead. So it is 6-2 Rutgers with, I believe, a little, there it is, I was going to say a little less than 16 minutes to play. That's a little less, 15:59.
Just a little.
Hope that's not your car, Dick. The announcement here at the rack, someone locked their keys in the car and left the engine running, something Dick Lloyd has been known to do. Hinson, little long, Roy off to the slow start. After nailing his first jump, Hinson has missed his next 3 attempts. Play definitely a little ragged inside now.
Okay, takes that ball to the middle. Good jumper, but he just doesn't have the range. Gets up with great height, and I think he may foul in here in his aggressiveness coming in to try and get the basketball.
Foul call does go against Roy Hinson, his first, 3rd team foul against Rutgers. Mike O'Reilly with it, out to Ron White. Inside Brown. Brown having problems holding on. Rutgers going for the double and triple team, and they're able to save as Darrell Webster got it to O'Reilly. His pass to Chester Wood, and there he is, the Somerset Swatter. His second block shot.
And he's probably got 2.5 more to go because he's averaging 4.5 block shots a game.
Clarence open. His second field goal. He has 4. It is 8-2 Rutgers. Rutgers went down low to Hinson. Back out to Roy. As you look at Clarence Tillman, who's coming off the career high, Rutgers comes up with the steal, and Kevin Black with the layup inside.
And I wouldn't be surprised here if we're not going to see Dave Hobell come in here.
Now here's what you missed. Rutgers, another turnover against GW, and Kevin Black will score to make it 10-2. Now, before the start of today's game, I talked to Tom Young about the expected matchup of big men, his Roy Hinson against GW's Mike Brown.
Well, I think, number one, we'll be zoning a lot, and they'll be man-to-man, so Roy will have a little bit of help as far as covering Brown, because anytime he gets it, we want 3 and 4 guys around him. But if you take the 2 individually, I think Roy is much more of an intimidator as far as rejecting, which is obvious by the number of block shots he has in comparison to Brown. Brown is a little better rebounder at this point. But Roy's been around 4 years, and he's carrying us and doing a great job. So there's no doubt who's the better player at this point in their careers.
We're at the Rutgers Athletic Center. Scarlet Knights with the 10-2 lead. And so far, Dick, Roy Hinson has again handled Mike Brown.
Well, I think Roy Hinson has had some help on that, too, because that zone puts a lot of people around the center inside and makes it difficult for him to operate. Dave Hobell is into the lineup. He has had an intestinal virus for about the last 2 or 3 weeks, lost 10 to 15 pounds, but a great shooter.
Well, this is Hobell with it. Junior out of Barton, Indiana. A point machine in high school, but he's really played the point position here with normally Troy Webster, the scoring guard, as his running mate in the backcourt. Those of you who have just joined us, as as the foul call went against Kevin Black, his first fourth-team foul against Rutgers. Troy Webster not playing today, injured a back against West Virginia Wednesday night. Leading scorer for the Colonials at just over 17 a game, did not make the trip. So now it is Hobell on the floor with O'Reilly. Mike Brown has the position inside, but along with the shot, his offensive rebound. First field goal for Mike Brown, the sophomore from Clifford Scott High School in East Orange. Averages 16 points per game and 10.1 rebounds per game. Leading rebounder in the Atlantic 10 is Mike Brown. Here's Hinson right back. Gotta have a call in there. It's a travel against Roy.
He's got to drop that ball for it to be a block shot, and he didn't. He came down with it.
Rutgers continues to pressure in the backcourt, and again the foul will go against Kevin Black as he ran over Mike O'Reilly. That'll be the second foul on Kevin. 15th foul against Rutgers. Tom Young's going to go to his bench and bring Chris Remley on. Remley, number 12, the sophomore, 6'9" from Warren, New Jersey. Kevin Black sits down with the two personals, 1 field goal, 2 points.
And that's one thing Tom's been able to do this year is go to that bench, particularly when you're going to press full court. You've got to give those players a breather.
Hobell. So really now, Dick, the two guards on the floor for GW, Hobell and O'Reilly, neither of whom has scored much at all this season. But Hobell, as you mentioned, a good shooter, and we'll see if he will shoot today. Darrell Webster's miss, Hinson's long outlet, but Battle, touchdown.
Great play. You were mentioning Herschel Walker. That looked like a football play with that down-and-out pattern. And John Battle did a great job here of, with his eyes, not getting that glint in his eyes that the ball is coming. We won't see it in the play, but we could see it from up here. And the defensive player didn't realize it was coming. Battle gets it, and he has such great body control. Puts it on the floor once and goes up very strong with that left hand.
The defensive back was Darrell Webster. His first foul. John Battle, 75% free throw shooter, looking to complete the three-point play. He does, and it's 13-4 Rutgers, 13:47 left first half. Hobell against the pressure. So he can handle it pretty well, and we'll see if he'll start shooting from the backcourt.
The GW has been doing that a lot, trying to dribble it through the press, and I'm surprised they're not looking for the middle or going to the opposite side.
Chester Wood, Darrell Webster. So Ron White went to the bench. Hobell came on. White, who had 18 career high against West Virginia the other night, ineffective, and Jerry Gimelstob made the change. Mike Brown with his second field goal. He now has 4 points. It is 13-6. Tillman with problems, and the foul call is going to go against Chester Wood. That'll be the third team foul against the Colonials.
GW gets very aggressive on that man-to-man defense, and just a little bit too much contact there gives the player the advantage, and the official had to call that foul.
Wood got ball clean initially, but then going after it made the contact with Clarence Tillman. Chris Nieberlein will check in for Rutgers at the next whistle. Tillman bowls over Chester Wood. Offensive foul call against Rutgers. Tom Young's not believing it. He's walking towards midcourt.
Well, Chester Wood's working very hard on defense. He was denying the ball before that. Seems to have that position, and of course he helps it by falling down. The shoulder was right in the chest. Looked like a pretty good call.
My eyebrows were raised.
That's why I'm not an official.
Second foul against Clarence Tillman, and Nieberlein has checked in to replace Clarence. So 3 substitutes on for Rutgers already in this first half. Hinson creates the turnover, and then Battle loses. O'Reilly got it to Mike Brown. Brown to O'Reilly. He's open, he hesitates, and he travels. So the hesitation there, Mike O'Reilly, and still another turnover. That'll be turnover number 10 in 7 minutes and 17 seconds. That's incredible.
And he's probably thinking back now saying, I really should have taken that shot. And so many players will do that. They have the shot, they're not sure.
Rich Brunson back in for Rutgers, replacing Brian Ellerby. So it's Brunson and Battle in the backcourt for the Scarlet Knights. Remley, Nieberlein, and Hinson. Hinson, the only starter who has played throughout for Rutgers. Tom Young making liberal use of his bench. Got some contact away from the ball.
A lot of contact inside. Mike Brown, Roy Hinson. GW likes to front that post inside, and Roy Hinson doesn't like to be fronted, so they have a little contest in there, and I'm surprised that Mike Brown was as obvious as he was about that push.
First foul on Brown. Hinson takes it to him off glass, little long. Nieberlein trying to keep it alive. Battle battling with O'Reilly, and the foul is on John Battle. So the foul's evening up here in the first half. That'll be the 15th foul. Make it the 7th team foul against Rutgers. Rutgers already over the limit. 17 fouls against the Scarlet Knights, only 4 against George Washington. So Scarlet Knights over the limit, but still 12:24 left first half, and Rutgers with the quick lead. But here's how George Washington can get back in, as they already in the bonus situation.
Well, they're hanging in there, but they're having an awful lot of problem with the turnovers and problems with the press, and they're going to have to solve that to get back in this ball game.
O'Reilly, the freshman, struggling from the free throw line this season, just 36%. And he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. 5'11" point guards should be able to shoot free throws a little better than he's been shooting them. Battle over O'Reilly, and count the field goal. Battle posting up with the 3-inch height advantage.
And you talk about a team peaking, you talk about players peaking. He is really playing very well. And this time he uses his side in the pivot, moves right to the inside, one bounce, and as you say, really gets up very strong. Great body control by John Battle.
It hung for a long time, but it dropped. And Battle, come off the bench, scored 5 quick points, 75% free throw shooter. He has really been providing a lift for Rutgers off the bench over the last month. Biggest lead for the Scarlet Knights at 10 points right here. It is 16-6. Hobell beats the pressure. O'Reilly to Darrell Webster. Back to O'Reilly. Inside off Mike Brown's hands. 11th turnover. Nieberlein, no one came out at him. Chris misses the jump. Remley mugged inside. Hobell takes it away.
Remley mugged by Darrell Webster, and he was mugged. A lot of contact inside.
Mike Brown, I'll tell you, he's really struggling, having problems holding on to the ball. And the foul call is going to go against Roy Hinson. Tom Young wanted to travel as Brown was having problems getting the handle. But then the foul call against Hinson.
And there we can see, look at that, at least 3 players, Rutgers players, right around him. And that makes it tough to operate. But as you say, he's having trouble getting a handle on that ball.
Second foul against Roy Hinson. Kevin Black replaces Roy Hinson. So Chris Nieberlein will now move to the middle for the Scarlet Knights. And Mike Brown, 68% free throw shooter, will shoot the 1-and-1.
And that is GW's offense basically against the zone, is to get it inside to Michael Brown.
We
have yet to see a 3-point field goal attempt. Brown going over Nieberlein's back, knocked the ball loose. Darrell Webster out to Mike O'Reilly. So Rutgers turns it over for the 5th time. Wood to Hobell. O'Reilly open. Black jumped out at him. Long jump. Chester Wood, his first field goal. 16-9 Rutgers. 10:45 left first half. We'll spend some time at halftime talking about the 3-point field goal, the shot clock. Shot clock has not been a factor in this ball game as well. Rutgers turns it over, ball out of bounds off Chris Nieberlein's hands.
Rutgers changing their defense. They're pressing a little bit now, Bill. Instead of putting on full court, they're putting on about 3/4 court, still zone press.
Clarence Tillman will come back for Rutgers. Well, since Hobell came on for Ron White, GW has had fewer problems with the press, but they still continue to turn it over off the set offense.
And part of that, I think, is the fact Rutgers has pulled that press back to 3/4 court. It's not quite as tough.
O'Reilly's missed Nieberlein.
Strong rebound by Chris Nieberlein.
Rich Brunson, senior from Queens. Black returns to Rich. Remley outside, played by Wood. Kevin Black Trying to move around Darrell Webster. The help came from Hobel. Hobel now jumps back at Brunson. Brunson's pass. Webster gets it to Mike Brown. This ought to be interesting. Got the big fellas leading the break, and that's what happens.
Who said the big guys?
Webster give it up to Mike Brown. Brown tried to return, and the turnover.
The big guys can't do everything, Bill. They can rebound, they can shoot, but handling the ball is not one of their strengths.
Steve Frick, number 15, checks in for George Washington. Roy Hinson back for Rutgers. They're going to have to get Vic Monaco, our statistician, a new pencil before too long. A lot of turnovers against George Washington. Going to wear that thing out. That is 12. 12 turnovers in just over 10 minutes. Himmelstaub will be having nightmares. Hinson triple teamed inside, gets it out to Brunson. Tillman over Hobel.
That's what will happen to GW. If they're not playing the zone, they're playing man-to-man. But when that ball goes inside, they all collapse inside. Roy Hinson, forgetting that the press is now at three-quarter court, was ready for that full-court press.
At halftime, 3-point, field goal, shot clock. We'll talk about it. Maybe demonstrate it. O'Reilly. He's just not comfortable shooting from long range, Dick. He hesitates each time. Brown rolls it in. His third field goal, he now has 7 points.
I'm surprised he is hesitating too much because I was looking at the stats and he's taken the most three-point shots.
Black. Second field goal, he has 4. We have yet to see a three-pointer attempted in this ball game. It is 22-11. Rutgers leads it. Scarlet Knights up by 9. O'Reilly to Darrell Webster. Hobel outside. Steve Frick out for Hobel. There's your three-point attempt. Won't go. Black will outlet for Ellerby, who wasn't looking, and Hobel's going to come up with the steal. Brunson back defensively. Brunson did a good job. Hobel had Webster right side. O'Reilly goes inside for Mike Brown, and he travels.
With that intimidation, the big guy inside. He made the turn. He wasn't quite sure. Shuffled the feet. Do a nice job getting the ball into Brown inside. Makes the nice pivot. Turns around and faces. He's not sure what happens, and it looks like he lifted that right foot first.
Hinson from Ellerby. Ellerby will lose to Hobel. Steve Frick, another freshman, 6'5", All-State high school ball player in Greenville, South Carolina.
And Bill, this looks like the old clock offense that Manhattan College used to run years ago. They just see him running the player along the baseline.
Frick, a good shooter, but they have not been able to get him the ball. Hobel tries from three-point range, and he misses again.
And I think he's a 50% shooter from the three-point range.
He was 10 of 19 coming in. Brown on the board, so he went from just over 50% to now just under 50% on the season, as he is 0 of 2. 7 minutes left first half. It is still 20-11. Rutgers leads it. The Scarlet Knights have led throughout. Another turnover. Webster with the travel. That is 14 turnovers. Hobel leaves.
I'm sure Coach Gimelstob has to be wondering how he can be as close as he is with as many turnovers as they have had.
Got Chester Wood now playing in the backcourt for the Colonials. He's playing Ellerby. Frick going for the steal. Fouls Clarence Tillman. That'll be the 6th team foul against GW. On the next George Washington foul, Rutgers will go to the line.
It's obvious that Barry Gimelstob had said keep the ball away from Tillman, and that's what Frick was trying to do, but just too much body contact. Everybody that's been playing Clarence Tillman has been trying to deny him the ball.
Hinson inside with a finger roll. Just the second field goal for Hinson. He has 4. 6.5 to play. Scarlet Knights by 11. Rutgers with its largest lead. Darrell Webster in the corner. player from Washington, D.C., Darrell Webster, who stayed home. Another turnover against GW. Brown wasn't watching as Wood passed inside. Here's Battle. Nice pass from Kevin Black.
Talk about the Rutgers running game or transition game. It is in high gear.
Kevin going for the steal. Battle, 8 points in the first half, leading. Scorer in this ball game is John Battle. He has come off the bench and done a job. Frick outside.
GW having trouble getting that outside offensive punch. As you mentioned, Mike, O'Reilly does not like to look for that. He looks for the shot, will not take the outside shot.
Webster hustling against Black, and Roy Hinson with his third block in this ball game. That gives him 106 on the season. How about John Battle? Sophomore from Washington, D.C. There's a player from the D.C. area who left, came to Rutgers, and he has him standing at the rack. It is 26-11. Rutgers leads it. 5:19 left first half. Scarlet Knights creating the turnovers, and John Battle at the other end playing with all kinds of confidence. You take a look.
And you talk about the running game and what it can do for you here. Here's Rutgers pushing the ball down the floor. Ellerby passing it down to Battle, who's standing right on that three-point line. You may get a glimpse of that. He's got the good jumper with the rebounders coming in. We can see Kevin Black coming in.
Roll the middle.
Clean shot.
Just bring it back out and reset.
It was a two-point play because his feet were on the line.
You know, 14 defense. They went the bounce passes and you're here. Our hands are down here, understand? Our hands are down, so no bounce passes. Keep down the middle. You got to move up a little bit. Kevin can reject, understand? He hasn't. You just play a little bit higher. When he gets the basketball, he turns to shoot. When he gets the basketball, you slide up a little bit.
Here we get a good look at the block coming up now, and this is what Tom Young, I think, was talking about at halftime. Their 14 defense. Watch that player sneaking along that end line. That's the block that turned into John Battle's basket.
Rutgers, Dick, with an 8-point run over the last 3.5 minutes, holding the Colonials scoreless, stretching the 7-point lead to a 15-point lead.
And that's one of the things. I had a chance to talk with Tom Young earlier in the season. We were talking about the running game, and he said one of the things it can help you do is take a team and really perhaps take them out of the ball game.
Joe Wassel, 6'4" sophomore from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, making his first appearance for the Colonials. This is Wassel with it, and I will not try to say that again. Darrell Webster. He's averaging 8.5 a game, Darrell Webster. He's been shut out thus far. With Troy Webster out, would have thought that Jerry Gimmelstob would look to Darrell Webster for a little more offense. Hobell missing his third three-point attempt. Battle's going to take it to Hobell, and the foul call is against Dave Hobell. So that'll send John Battle to the free throw line. John Battle with 10 first half points. He's 2 of 2 from the free throw line and has 4 field goals. And he's playing with so much confidence, no hesitation. He's just going to take it right to him.
And you could almost see that right in his eyes. It was saying, come on out and get me. It's not going to bother me. I'm going to go right around you. As you say, he's playing with tremendous confidence now.
First foul against Hobell. We talked last week, Dick, about the fact that it's a senior-dominated Rutgers club with 4 senior starters, Brunson, Hinson, Black, and Tillman. Ellerby, the other starter, the sophomore, well, there's your backcourt for next year. Brian Ellerby and John Battle, both will be juniors, and that looks like Rutgers can have no problems in the backcourt next season. John Battle emerging.
And GW needing some outside firepower.
Mike Brown, another block. Roy Hinson. Black picks up the loose ball. 4th block for Roy. Hinson left side from Kevin. Count the field goal. End to end, Roy Hinson. End to end. Comes up with the block, hustles down the floor, gets the field goal, draws the foul. He will try to complete complete the three-point play.
And that's where he's such a great player. He can be down that end and block the shot and still get out and get in the break, which he does so very well. 6'9", and look at the tremendous body control as he goes down here. Defense is going to try and jump over, but he goes up extremely well from that left side, and that's the Rutgers running game at perfection.
Second foul on Mike Brown. Hinson missing the free throw. Roy has 6 first-half points, and the Scarlet Knights, well, I was going to say created another turnover, but no, ball went out of bounds off John Battle's hands. But John Battle really playing well at both ends. George Washington has gone scoreless now for 5 minutes. O'Reilly's three-pointer is long and Battle's out on the break. And this time he'll take it to O'Reilly. His miss, Brian Ellerby on the offensive boards, his first field goal. 31-11, Rutgers leads it. It was 18-11 Rutgers with 8:57 to play in the first half. Scarlet Knights got a spurt going.
A great move by John Battle, but super followed by Brian Ellerby.
Mike Brown runs over Nieberline, no call. Joe Wassel is long, and it's Battle, puts it behind his back. And Mike Brown knocks it out of bounds.
And Bill, that's an example, I think, where John Battle is learning. Several games ago, he may have pushed that ball and tried to take it in offensively. He saw there were no odds, and he held it up.
The hand for Roy Hinson as Roy Hinson leaves. Jerry Gimmelstob also going to his bench. Steve Frick comes back in. Over the last 6 minutes, Rutgers has outscored George Washington 13-0.
And much of it due to the running game.
Black. That's what? The 4th three-point play opportunity for Rutgers upcoming.
And what a great move by Kevin Black. There's where he's at his best. He comes along that baseline. He's so quick down there. Look at the fakes he's giving the ball. Comes out from behind the basket. Great strong move. Kevin Black is at his best operating along that baseline.
Balanced scoring attack. Hinson has 6. Black has 6. Tillman with 6 points. Kevin missing the free throw. John Battle leading the way with 11. And it's 33-11. And Rutgers with a victory today, Dick, would go to 20-4. And I don't see how the pollsters could overlook them this week. If Rutgers is 20 up and 4 down at the conclusion of play for the next poll, it's got to be a top 20 club.
Somebody's got to take notice, and if they're here watching this game this afternoon, there'd be no doubt they'd get into the polls.
Rutgers looking for their 20th win of the season, and Rutgers coach Tom Young looking for the 400th victory in his 23-year coaching career.
And it's tough. We talk about the pressure that's going to be on Michael Brown, and there is a lot. They're trying to get that ball inside. Rutgers, of course, keen off that. And as soon as that ball goes into him, everybody is collapsing around Michael Brown.
And look who it was who got the hand in, John Battle. Ron White has come back. Ron White missing from deep, but Battle, he's human.
And that's going to happen, and Tom Young did that. If you caught Tom Young, he gave him a little, that's all right, John, good play, because when you're going to push the ball like that, occasionally you're going to have that turnover.
2:15 left first half. GW in a drought. And Nieberline with the foul. Mike Brown will go to the line. George Washington has not scored since the 8:57 mark of the first half.
Both Nieberline and Tillman are right there. Tillman tries to keep his hands up, and Mike Brown, being a smart player, kind of draws that foul, makes that contact occur.
Mike has 7 points. He's hit one of his 2 free throws. He's a 68% free throw shooter. And the drought continues. The drought is over. It is 33-12. Tillman's lob inside for Nieberline. Brown with the steal, but from behind. I thought the foul call was going to go against Steve Frick from behind, but not so. Foul call is against Rutgers.
Looks like probably Chris Nieberline. What happened there? Mike Brown was fronting, and I think Chris Nieberline probably tries to get a position with his arm. Let's see if we can catch it here. He's fronting, and I guess they call that little push with the left arm. That's a natural tendency for the player to make when he is being fronted.
So back-to-back fouls on Chris Nieberlein. Back-to-back free throw opportunities for Mike Brown. 1 and 1. Well, Mike Brown has 9 of the 13 George Washington points. O'Reilly and Chester Wood have 2 apiece. Remley. He will shoot 2.
And I'll tell you, Bill, one of these nights we're going to see Chris Remley break out of it because he is a very good shooter, and the ball just hasn't fallen the way I think it should for him yet. Makes a nice move in there, goes up very strong. Another big guy with great body control.
Second foul on Steve Frick. Dick, do you think that Tom Young will look to roll it up if he has the opportunity, looking to perhaps impress the pollsters a little bit?
I'm sure he's going to have his players playing as hard as they can and use his substitutes fairly. He's already using 8 players now.
Rutgers can maintain this type of lead. People are going to take notice. George Washington, not a bad club, and the Scarlet Knights just blowing them out. Webster's missed. Tillman with the rebound. We'll tell you about the Atlantic 10 postseason tournament, as we will get an opportunity in the second half when the timeouts start coming. Ellerby with the field goal, his second. He has 4 points. It is 37-13. Rutgers women will be in the Atlantic 10 tournament next week right here. Rutgers women hosting it. So while Rutgers blowing George Washington away, please stay with us for the second half. You've heard it said many times, it's not over yet. A lot can still happen, and we expect some exciting basketball. And Rutgers putting on a clinic, and it's worth staying with us, even though it's a rout to watch Rutgers.
I was just going to say that, Bill. They're just playing so well. Another smart move again by John Battle. Did not have it.
Three-pointer clearance. Put along.
31 seconds, Ron.
So the shot clock not a factor in the entire first half. 24 seconds left first half. We have not seen a three-point field goal go down. We've seen Hobel miss 3. Clarence missed that one. Mike Brown muscles inside, and foul call against Mike Brown will be his 3rd.
Fouled Chris Nieberlein as that ball comes in bounds and he swings around. We can watch his arm, and you'll see he just throws that arm and just pushes Nieberlein away.
As we come back, ball in the air, and there's the buzzer. The shot from Chris Remley. It is halftime, and Rutgers with a 24-point lead, the largest Rutgers lead of the first half. It is 37-13. It's real easy to give you the George Washington scoring. Mike Brown has 9.
So my family, of course, won't believe that I made that shot. I'll tell you, Bill, the interviews were very interesting. I think that's what makes basketball such a great game, that you can have those 3 fine coaches all having different things to say about the game and all giving something to the game. I think that's what makes it great. I think the tough thing now for Tom Young is to get that Rutgers team. They were really just fired up as they came off the floor. And you come back out, and you're a little tight now, and it's 37-13, and you're thinking GW is really out of it. It'll be interesting to see if they can come back and get that running game tuned up and keep the pressure on GW. It's going to be very difficult for GW, even if Rutgers isn't quite at the peak they were at the start of the game. They just don't have that outside firepower. Losing Troy Webster just makes it so much easier for that Rutgers zone to fall back and give Mike Brown a tough time. Will also be interesting to see if Tom comes out with that press. He started with that full court press, and that probably got Rutgers running. That defensive press can get the offense going sometimes too.
Got the backup Mike
So the key will be Rutgers starting out immediately, just as they ended the first half. The key for GW, trying to get some outside firepower so they do not have to rely entirely on Mike Brown. Looking at some of the stats for the first half, GW, we talk about the outside shooting 25% from the field. Not strong at all, to say the least. Rutgers shooting at 55%. Of course, we said earlier that Rutgers zone makes it difficult for teams to hit from the outside. Turnovers, of course, was the other big factor. 16 turnovers for GW, many of them caused by that Rutgers full court press.
I spent some time talking with Mike Cohn from GW last night, Dick, and I know he and Jerry Gimelstob really have to be suffering about this one. They are down 37-13 after 20 minutes of play. And just to say, it has been all Rutgers. So here we go. Start of the second half. Brunson on the floor with Ellerby in the backcourt. Tillman and Black, the forwards, and Roy Hinson in the middle for the Scarlet Knights. This is Tillman will set the George Washington lineup when they get possession.
Something, of course, doesn't surprise us is GW playing man-to-man.
Mike Brown going to take it to Hinson. Mike Brown. Coast to coast.
That's a shot you decide not to block, otherwise you wind up going in the basket with the ball.
And he didn't give us time to set the George Washington lineup with their possession because he was the only one who touched.
Mike Brown makes the steal, goes down, keeps that ball in his right hand, which is surprising, but that jams it through, and Hinson just misses. He took a swipe at it, but just missed it.
Come back live, George Washington knocking the ball out of bounds. Ron White, number 11, Mike O'Reilly, number 14, the guards for George Washington. Mike Brown, of course, number 40 in the middle. Chester Wood playing Tillman right there, Clarence with the miss, and Darrell Webster, number 23, the forwards for the Colonials. So it is 37-15, 50 seconds into the second half. Darrell Webster out for Wood, O'Reilly. Temple way down, Dick, and they went to the three-point field goal, as we mentioned at halftime, but it doesn't appear that George Washington has those kinds of shooters. That's Chester Wood inside. I don't expect to see them go bombs away to try to get back in this one.
Well, I don't think they do have the shooters. I think Temple did.
In the first half, George Washington was 0 of 5 from three-point field goal range. Hobell missed 3. O'Reilly and White missed 1 apiece. Hinson's turnaround won't go. Black.
Kevin Black hangs in there nice on that offensive board.
39-17. Ron White to Mike O'Reilly. White shut out thus far, had 18 against West Virginia. And he's misfiring again. Brown, again, trouble getting a handle. Brunson, White trying to catch him.
And speaking of bad backs,
well,
White hits that pretty hard. Good move by Rich Brunson here, taking it all alone, going up, put that ball in his left hand, which was a smart move, and you can just see White going against that support there and then grabbed his back right away.
He's all right. His first foul, Rich Brunson, 72% free throw shooter. His first trip to the line in this ball game.
Rich Brunson certainly has to feel good about this year after having that problem last year, and it really hurt the team because it was his leadership, his ball handling, playing that #1 guard spot that had them going last year, and he had to drop out middle of the season. Got to feel good about this year where he's hung in there, starter every single game, making a significant contribution.
The new rule, so no backcourt, right?
Well, it wasn't the new rule. He was over.
Yeah, okay.
The new rule says everything must be over. That there was no question. He got over in time.
O'Reilly, again hesitating, goes to Darrell Webster.
And GW running that same offense. just kind of in a circle. Here comes Riley along the baseline. Coming to the screen.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Brown's miss, and got Black and Webster going after the loose ball. It's Rutgers' ball.
Kind of wonder if there was not a shot clock, if Jerry Gimelstob would be playing it a little bit differently and maybe even being more patient.
They're down by 23. I don't know if patience is going to do it for him here.
I meant from the start of the game.
Right. Hinson. Roy with his 4th field goal. He has 8 points.
Tough to block that turnaround jumper of Roy Hinson. He goes way up on it. Has it up over his head, which even gives him more height.
O'Reilly long, White with the long rebound.
Good example of the offensive pattern against the zone. It goes inside, one inside to Brown, and he pitched it outside, but there is no outside firepower. You're right, Bill, 40 seconds is a long time.
7 on the shot clock. Hinson.
And I don't know whether that was a change in strategy or what, but Michael Brown now, last time, first half, he was getting it and going to the hoop, turnaround jumper or whatever. Now, every time he's gotten it, it's been thrown out to the corner.
Clarence. Good position that time by Brown. He kept Hinson away.
He does a great job of getting position. It's not that he's such a great leaper. He's just great with the position, always in the right place at the right time, it seems.
Well, Jerry Gimelstob told me Mike Brown and Troy Webster as Hinson with the rejection, potential first-round NBA draft choices. Black for Hinson. Roy follows.
Great effort, and that's what Tom Young told us when we asked him last game, why is Roy Hinson such a great rebounder? He says it's his great quickness, his timing. That time he missed the shot, didn't stay on the floor for a split second, was right back up again.
That's 2 more in the second half for Hinson. It's 6 for the ball game. It's 109 for the season. Therefore, the moniker Somerset Swatter.
That's got to hurt inside. I know Michael Brown, every one of those guys, when they drive, have to be aware of that.
Steve Frick checks in for GW. John Battle for Rutgers. Good look at Frick. 6'5" swingman. And there's John Battle. Came off the bench in the first half, scored 11 points. Frick, short. Ellerby. Remley will check in for Rutgers' next opportunity.
Great play by Brian Ellerby.
Definition of a good shot if it goes in, though, right?
It was still a good play. I think he drove it down. He was in good range, and as long as he had rebounders coming down there, which they were, that's their running game. He was in close enough. Goes up very strong. That's the second or third time he's made that identical play. That's his move. We talked about Roy Hinson's great ability to block the shots. This one's out of the hand, and he gets up and gets a piece of it. Great timing. Speaking of the timing, on the follow-through, misses, not on the floor for a split second, right back up again. So both ends of the floor again. Blocks the shot, gets in the break.
All right, let me take this opportunity to tell you about the upcoming Atlantic 10 postseason tournament. On Monday, March 7th, the 5th place team in each division will play the 4th place team on the home court of the 4th place team. Survivor of that game, let's talk about the East now, and the top 3 teams in the East, Rutgers, of course, #1, will play Semifinals at the Spectrum in Philadelphia on Wednesday, March 9th. Meanwhile, the Western teams are going to be out at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. The 4 finalists will then advance to the Spectrum for the 1982-83 Atlantic 10 Conference Championships, and the semifinal doubleheader set for Friday, March 11th at the Spectrum. Championship game is set for Saturday, March 12th. Rutgers will go in as top seed in the East. Scarlet Knights 9-1 in the Atlantic 10. 6,725 here at the Rutgers Athletic Center, enjoying a Rutgers clinic. Roy Hinson thus far, Dick, 5 of 12 from the floor, 6 block shots, 4 steals, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Doing it all.
The clinic on the zone defense, the running game, and how to block shots.
Webster. Check it was Brown. I'm sorry, Brown inside triple team, threw up an air ball. Mike Brown with the steal. Outlet for Wood off his hands to O'Reilly. And Wood is open. O'Reilly got the penetration, got the ball to Wood, who was wide open. His missed shot. Here come the Scarlet Knights.
And Tom Young wants them to settle down just a little bit. That's an important part of the running game. Push it. If you don't have it, know when to slow it down. Go to the secondary or go to the set offense.
Remley's turnaround. Short. Brown with the rebound.
GW, of course, desperately needing some outside shooting touch here. They cannot rely on Mike Brown, particularly when he's backed up by Roy Hinson,
who came up with still another block. Ellerby, offensive foul. Frick drawing the offensive foul. I'm trying to find here, Dick, on our notes, the lowest point total for GW in a ball game this season. And it was 44 points in a 59-44 loss to Virginia. Well, here they are with 17 points, 12:42 left. The only other time there were less than 50 points was against St. Peter's at the Meadowlands when the Peacocks beat them 68-47 first week of December. O'Reilly, Ron White, short. GW with just 4 points in the first almost 8 minutes of the second half, and it's John Battle for 3.
John Battle, who's just playing a super game. 11 points first half, leading scorer of the first half, getting that running game going.
And the foul on Remley. We are now 8:03 into the second half.
Second personal foul, Rutgers, second team foul.
I think John Battle picked up that foul again.
Yeah, second on John.
In fairness to GW, we keep forgetting about Troy Webster not playing for him. There comes some outside shooting.
First field goal from Ron White. Had some contact away from the ball. Ellerby involved with Ron White. And the foul call is going to go against Brian Ellerby. Brian and Ron White were talking about it for quite a while before that broke out. I thought everything was okay.
I thought they might have been having some nice words together,
but it appeared like they were talking it over, saying, okay, there was some contact.
He slips there, and the fans, of course, get home. It gets right up again.
Now here's going to be a way. There's the call. But if we have it and keep it going, you know, they talked about it on the way down the court. Good 5-6 seconds had elapsed before they started pushing and shoving. So, you know, unfortunate that that happened, but things have settled down, and Brian goes to the bench, and Ron White stays on for GW. It is 49-19, Scarlet Knights by 30. 11:18 to play. I guess maybe Bryant figured Ron White had the hot hand with the field goal and wanted to get him out of the ball. That Fricks miss, and the foul is on Chester Wood, trying to take it away from Chris Nieberlein.
Speaking of hot hands, good hands by Chris Nieberlein that time as Roy Hinson popped the ball loose, came right into Nieberlein's hands. He held onto the ball instead of going out of bounds. GW moving that defense up now, trying to play the man-to-man and get the double every time they can. They've got to create some turnover.
Now on Mike O'Reilly.
Jerry Gimelstob trying to think of some trick plays now. It's tough with 19 points, no outside shooting. Your leading scorer in the hospital, or at least back home. And Rutgers playing so well.
Remley, 18 feet.
Chris Remley, as I said earlier, great shooter.
Mike O'Reilly.
Gets the three-point field goal.
Battle had a three-pointer for Rutgers, and O'Reilly with the initial three-pointer for George Washington. Brunson with the penetration.
Well, every time we turn around, it's another Rutgers player doing his thing and doing it well. Rich Brunson makes great penetration here right through that defense. No help coming up, and if any help comes up, he's able to get right through it. Just dips that ball down, and scores the basket, and gets the foul.
Rich Brunson, 72% free throw shooter, will go to the line. Foul number 3 on O'Reilly. Brunson now with 6 points. 9:55 left. Still another block by Roy Hinson, and another. Joe Wassel runs down the rebound. O'Reilly from three-point range again. Back-to-back three-pointers for O'Reilly. Hey, you can't take it inside. Shoot from 19-9 plus. Hinson now with 9 blocks in the ball game. Ron White creates the turnover. Brunson losing it. Brian Ellerby's going to check back in for Rutgers. And he'll replace Rich Brunson.
Tom likes that running game and wants to keep John Battle in there to keep that pace going, I'm sure. Rutgers switching to a man-to-man defense now. Get a chance to see the matchup with Hinson and Brown. A lot of contact going on inside. Brown fighting for that position.
9 on the shot clock. Browns miss outside. Remley outlet for Ellerby. Nip Rogers, number 43, has checked in for George Washington, making his first appearance. Battle draws the foul.
Tom Young dropped his towel there. He's hoping that John Battle didn't hurt the ankle. Again, he takes advantage inside. He posts up really well. Goes up over Mike Brown, gets that ball up just a little high, twists the ankle slightly.
4th foul on Mike Brown. 15 points for John Battle. will go to the line. Foul on Nip Rogers, senior, 6'6" from Lake Placid, New York. Sam Randolph going to check in for Rutgers, and John Fattle will get a hand.
Great effort off the foul shot here by Chris Remley. Gets the shot, falling away. Too much contact. You know, Nip Russell is the GW resident artist. Looking at their brochure, he did the sketches of every one of the players. Very talented young man besides on the basketball floor.
Someone should have sketched a different game plan for GW today. 57-25. We approach 8-minute mark. Mike Brown trying to muscle Hinson. They say that Roy has changed Brown's trajectory. And here he forced them.
Offensive foul, I would believe. You see what the official calls. We'll watch the replay here. It looks to me like an offensive foul. Puts those elbows in, uses that body. All Roy Hinson's doing is trying to protect himself and stand, but they did not call the offensive foul.
Mike Sierko spent a lot of time walking to the table and finally called the foul against Roy Hinson. Took a walk, I think, to think about it. The foul on Hinson, his third. Again, Mike Brown playing with the 4 personals, a non-shooting foul. 4th team foul against the Scarlet Knights.
Mike Brown is very physical inside. Big guy.
O'Reilly way off from 3-point range. Nieberline to Sam Randolph. Randolph up ahead, Remley open. And Ellerby out-hustles O'Reilly to the ball. And O'Reilly. Ellerby's going to try to catch him.
You had Roy Hinson that time playing forward as Chris Nieberline moved into that center spot.
O'Reilly, who hit 2 3-point field goals earlier in this half with the steal and layup, he now has 10 points. 8 of those 10 points here in the second half. Hinson, offensive foul. He missed the jam. Coming over weak side help was Joe Wassel, and Wassel draws the offensive foul.
It was a great move, though, by Roy Hinson. He turns and looks Brown right in the eye, gives him a little fake. Brown goes up and he drives the baseline, balls in the left hand, hops out really well. Can't make that dunk. For
Hinson. So now it's Hinson and Brown each playing with 4. Roy trying to take it away from Mike Brown. George Washington with 14 second-half points.
A lot of staring there between Roy Hinson and Mike Brown.
Roy goes to the bench with 10 points, 9 block shots. Wassel outside with 6:52. O'Reilly now outside. Here's Mike Brown over Nieberline. Won't go off Remley's hands. Randolph runs down the loose ball. The Rutgers has outscored George Washington 20-14 here in the second half. Blacks missed Brown's rebound. And GW controls. For 3. No good. Rogers shot. Did he hang on the rim? Mike Rogers with the jam. Mike Brown with the jam. He now has 13 points. Rutgers goes long to Black. He has 10.
Rutgers doesn't wait to find out whether he hangs on the rim. They just get their running game in high gear and get 2 right back.
59-29. Trying to find the last time George Washington has scored less than 40 points in a ball game. And again, Mike Brown was getting physical inside. Roy Hinson leaped off the Rutgers bench and pointed down at Mike Brown. So while Roy has gone to the bench, some bad feelings have erupted in this ball game. Tom Young now talking over with one of the officials.
Well, Mike Brown is a very physical player inside, and there's been a lot of contact going on all night. And I'm sure his frustration with the score, you get that contact going on after a while, and that does get the tempers just a little bit high.
Just play hard, step up to the shot. You step up to the shot, look, you should go back.
Jerry Gimelstob, of course, trying to keep his team in this game with only 6 minutes to go. 30 points down, a little tough. He's talking about them stepping up on the shot, trying to get a hand up on those shots. Mike Brown does have a great knack for rebounding. He always seems to be in that right spot, always around the basket. Great offensive rebounder as well as a defensive rebounder. As we said earlier, leads the Atlantic 10 in rebounding, and I believe is in the top 25 in the country in NCAA statistics for rebounding.
Sports Insight coming up Monday night. William Patterson College last night defeated Jersey City State 72-69 at Jersey City to win the New Jersey State College Athletic Conference Championship and earn a berth in the NCAA Division III tournament. John Adams and two of his players, Mike Burwell and Clayton Morrell, will be my guests Monday night live at 8 on Sports Insight. Mike O'Reilly with another, well, it's a two-point field goal. He hit from deep, but just inside the three-point range. It's 59-31, and Dick, this is unofficial. You got to go back, I believe, to 1948-49 to find George Washington scoring less than 40 in a basketball game. And they have 31 points with 5:34 to play. They did have a 2-0 game in 1969-70 season, but that obviously a forfeit against Virgin Islands.
If you're going to have a 2-point game, I couldn't think of a better team to have it against, and that was probably an away game, I would assume. If it wasn't, it should have been.
Well, it was a home game, and apparently Virgin Islands couldn't get there because it's in the book as a 2-0 forfeit win for George Washington. So I believe it's the 48-49 season. They scored 38 points against Wake Forest. Last time they've been under 40, and they may go under 40 today, as Rutgers has them down to 31 points, now 33 points, as O'Reilly, suddenly an offensive machine, rolls one in. Promised I'd tell you about the Atlantic 10 women's basketball tournament. That's upcoming here at the Rutgers Athletic Center starting Friday, March 4th, 5th, and 6th. Rutgers hosting the Atlantic 10 women's basketball tournament. Rutgers, Penn State, Temple, St. Joe's, West Virginia, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. And George Washington will be competing here. Winner of the tournament will receive an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Game time's Friday at 1, 3, 7, and 9. So stop by virtually at any time. You can see women's basketball this Friday here at the Rack. Saturday semis at 2 and 4, and the championship game next Sunday at 2 o'clock. Rutgers hosting the Atlantic 10 women's basketball tournament. And Rutgers women having a pretty good season. They have to feel they would have a shot to win that tournament.
Well, we saw
Penn State tough. We saw that game last week.
We saw that game, and it could wind up down to that again.
O'Reilly missing the three-pointer. Brown, he'll be emphatic.
Official telling him to let that ball go when it goes through the hoop. GW having a tendency to tap it a little bit. Works well inside.
O'Reilly's miss.
As I said, always right there with it. No doubt about that one.
Well, GW now with 35 points, 4:50 to play. Joe Wassel leaves. Nip Rogers checks back in.
Chris Nieberlein playing center for Rutgers.
Battle short. Moses, who has checked in for Rutgers, ran down that loose ball. Remley looking inside for Nieberlein. Weak side help coming from O'Reilly, and the foul is on Mike O'Reilly. Dick, a week from Monday night, live at 8 o'clock on New Jersey Network. Rutgers coach Tom Young will be my guest. We'll preview the upcoming Atlantic 10 men's basketball tournament. There, the weak side help. O'Reilly didn't get there in time. Chris Nieberlein shooting the 1-and-1, 71% free throw shooter. Chris with his first point in today's ball game. 63-35. Chester Woods miss.
Ron Moses with a strong rebound. Ron Moses, Coolidge High School, Washington, D.C.
Battles miss. Interesting, isn't it, that a couple of highly regarded Jersey players playing down at George Washington, some outstanding players from the D.C. area up here playing for Rutgers. Chester Wood, one of those Washington, D.C. ball players who stayed home. But we're talking about guys like Kevin Black, John Battle. For Rutgers from the D.C. area, Mike Brown and Troy Webster again out with the back injury. Jersey players for GW. Nieberline over Brown.
And Chris Nieberline getting his chance to play center, doing a nice job with his back to the basket in there.
Chris, of course, from Sykesville, Maryland. Now, last week, Rutgers has battled. It'll roll in. Rutgers had the big win in the game we brought you against CW Post.
Tremendous play here where John Battle gets the ball. He winds up with it on the right side of the basket, takes a look up, sees the defense is there, little hop dribble around, almost does a 360, I guess about a 180, and goes up strong. As we said, he's got such tremendous body control, about 6'2", very strong, can really leap.
Rutgers, a 29-point win last Saturday against CW Post, a Division II school. Here, the Scarlet Knights lead by 30. And you gotta believe it's a little more meaningful to beat a conference opponent by 30 than it is to beat a Division II school by 29. We talked at the top, Rutgers peaking as soon it will be tournament time. I think those were appropriate words.
You know, I think as coach says, don't ease up.
You know, Dick, as really it's been garbage time for the last 20 minutes. We've tried to do some work for you with the numbers. And our crack statistician, Vic Monaco, has just handed me an amazing note. And I quote, Herschel Walker has not yet scored in this contest. Good, Vic.
I'm certain his contract is not tied into the number of points he scored for whichever team he's playing for tonight. Another rebound for Chris Nieberline.
We have 2:50 to play. Rutgers by 30. Moses pulls up. Wood from O'Reilly, and the foul's on Chris Nieberline. Sullivan, number 34, and Doug Vanderwall check in for George Washington. Vanderwall right there from New Providence, New Jersey, a junior at 6'8". Nieberline goes to the bench for Rutgers, and John McDaniel, number 50, is checked in. Shot of the game last week in the Rutgers rout had to be Mark Sokolich at the buzzer, that fall away off balance hook. What will we have here at the buzzer from Rutgers as Tom Young is clearing his bench?
And what a bench that is, too. Those three players that are playing regularly, John Battle, Nieberline, Chris Remley, all making a tremendous contribution.
Mike Brown. You saw Jerry Gimelstob speaking with Mike Brown. He continues to do so on the George Washington bench as you took a look at Dan Sullivan. Mike Brown, 15 points, but really not a factor inside. Numerous turnovers early. Roy Hinson blocked a few of his attempts and really took him out of the ballgame.
Between the Rutgers zone and Roy Hinson, that's a tough place to play in there.
John McDaniel will go to the free throw line for Rutgers. And he throws it away. center, Nick Rogers.
I'm sure Jerry Gimelstob would like to know where those three-point plays were earlier.
Well, that puts him over 40. It is now 67-42, less than 2 minutes to play. Rutgers, very impressive. Rutgers will run its record to 20-4, 10-1 in the Atlantic 10, 12-1 at the Rutgers Athletic Center. Moses with an off-balance fall away, and Tom Young will get his 205th victory in his 10th season at Rutgers. And I was certainly not a math major, but you know that averages out to over 20 per season, and in his 23rd season overall of coaching, Tom Young will notch number 400 in his outstanding career. Dan Sullivan with the field goal. Mark Sokolich waiting to check in for Rutgers. Scarlet Knights by 25. Moses miss, and it's a 2-on-1 with Randolph back. Ron White pulls up, goes to O'Reilly. O'Reilly has 14 second-half points, total of 16 in the ball game. It's 69-46. Randolph for Remley. Nice move along the baseline by Chris Remley.
Great baseline drive there. Great quickness on that initial step.
Remley has 10 points, quietly 10 points off the bench for Chris Remley. McDaniel throws it away to O'Reilly. And this will give Mark Sokolich the opportunity to check in. The stoppage of play with the foul with 37 seconds left. And the pressure is on. We need an encore, because last week that shot at the buzzer was really something.
The pressure's on, the crowd's on their feet for John Battle as he comes out there.
Rutgers up by 34 at the half. 37-13. Make it 24 at the half. I said I wasn't a math major.
As long as you can hit that three-point shot, it doesn't matter.
All right, now they lead by 25. And now by 24 if the free throw is made. So they played even in the second half. Hobell will replace O'Reilly. And O'Reilly leaves with 18 points.
And Jerry Gimelstob goes over to talk with him also.
Rutgers turns it over. Scarlet Knights back home Wednesday against Rhode Island. But before that, a game on the road Monday at St. Bonaventure. Dan Sullivan way off. And here's Sokolich. Not quite as dramatic as last week's buzzer beater, but Mark Sokolich in the book with a field goal. And here's Randolph. Sam stops, pops, and it's long. Moses with 3 seconds left. And Rutgers wins it 75-48. So the Scarlet Knights with 3 remaining regular season ball games. Tom Young has just won his 400th college basketball game.